Okay, before they do,
Oh, what's this? Oh, look at that! You made a rocket.
no, this was the talk that Dale does at the Exploratorium.
Yeah.
Well, the rocket ship guys were there giving a talk. I answered a trivia question and won the model.
Okay.
Ah.
Well, at 10 o'clock or at the end of Ask an Engineer around 11, we have a trivia question. So you could go for 2. It's very possible. All
Okay.
right. Brian, we're going to wait for a couple more people to maybe show up, and then we're going to start. So everyone can just hang out, get to know each other. Michael, maybe you could show your prize that you won to Brian.
A model of the Gothic rocket ship.
I like that. I like the type of prizes in the maker world because it's not good enough just to get the thing. You get the cutout of the thing too.
And my buddy who's into rockets says he believes we can launch this and possibly recover it.
You can launch anything.
You can launch anything.
Yeah, so he thinks if we can get a motor in here if we cut some of it out so that there's space, and if we cut one rib out, we might be able to do a side eject parachute.
When I was in middle school, I made a Star Trek Enterprise, and I put the D rockets in it, and like this thing, and everyone said there's no way that it's going to launch. They were right, but it was really fun because it had 2, and then I built a third thing, so it had like a 3 things, and then it kind of went up. But with 2, it just like went up.
Just spiral.
Yeah, and I had a pretty good budget with D rock. The D ones those are the biggest ones. Is there anything bigger than D rockets anymore?
Oh yeah.
I mean that was middle school. That's where it kind of ended for me.
They don't get and give you the big
Oh yeah.
I mean that was middle school. That's where it kind of ended for me.
They don't get and give you the big
An echo.
Yeah. I mean that was middle school. That's where it kind of ended for me.
They don't get
There's an echo. I hear us talking on it. Okay, we're gonna get started. Okay, so everybody mute your mics.
your microphones, otherwise we get echoes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to start out with Michael. He was in chat first. Michael, show us your project. What are you working on?
Okay, so I work at one of these places where the sodas are free, and they have one of the big coolers.
Nice.
So what happened was some guys decided the soda's not cooling off fast enough. So we come in Monday with an ice cold freezer and sodas that exploded.
Oh, yeah.
So what I have here is the temperature sensor, pressure sensors for the doors, Ethernet shield. So I've got this guy. I'll run the wires. If it gets below a certain temperature, I'll ping a web page, and facilities will get an email.
Okay.
That is a really, really good idea because, once you get free soda, then what's the first thing? Well, it's not the right temperature yet, or it's too cold. And then someone starts mucking around with it, and you can't, I've accidentally, when I would put a Coke in the freezer, and if I forget about it, you just get exploded Coke.
Well, that's what the guys have done twice already. We've had 2.
It's like the worst thing.
And we're talking about real coolers. The things that hold a couple of hundred sodas, and the CFO goes and says, guys, if you really want to keep the benefit, and then we throwing out the sodas, and somebody spends 2 hours cleaning up the mess.
Yeah.
So I'll end up logging every so often. The pressure sensor, so we know if the doors are left open for too long, and the temperature sensor, if it hits a certain temperature, we send out the email.
Okay.
That's great. This is one of those things that I always talk about, Arduino's become the glue. You can see that there's a problem, and you know that there's a technology solution, but how else could you do this unless you had these easy to put together things? How long did this project take for you to put together?
Oh, a few hours last night. Thank you, Lemur. I grabbed your temperature sensor library for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote that. I did the hard work.
Well,
you did the difficult work.
Let us know if this works out, and if you take any photos or write it up. Please.
Oh yeah, I plan to do a full write-up on this thing on some blog someplace.
This is definitely more effective than putting up a sign that says, "Will the person who keeps taking the temperature below freezing stop doing it?" Because that doesn't ever work.
Yeah. I mean, this is what technology is for us to serve us, not for us to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and if it does happen enough, the next thing is to throw a JPEG camera on there, so we know at least who did when, and I can log it with the photo on the website, and
then you can put it on Twitter, and then you can have it set up so whoever it could do facial recognition. So whoever did it, it'll message all of them on Facebook or Google Plus.
You'll find out it's actually the CFO in the end.
The CFO.
Got it, but yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Michael.
Welcome.
All right, Brian, you're next. Mute your mic and show us your project.
My project is kind of short. It's actually a clock. You can't see it because it's not on right now.
Yeah, we like.
Okay,
like
I see numbers.
It's made
big.
out of a old CD player and a DVD which I cut holes in. This over here is a measurement because there's a dot above the O. I'm not. You can kind of see it, so that I can tell the revolutions. So it's a persistence of vision clock, and I'll turn it on
let's
now.
do this thing.
I like that CD players are the new VCRs because we're like, what are we gonna do with these things? We got millions of them.
Okay,
Oh wow, look at that.
So it looks.
And
Oh, that's so cute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
and I guess the camera has it reversed.
And what are you using to keep the time? What's going on behind you?
It's actually an interrupt on an Arduino, so.
Oh, okay.
So next you're going to put in like a real-time clock so that you don't have to keep it plugged in all the time, or?
Well, this is just a prototype, so eventually I'm going to rebuild it on something more permanent.
Looks pretty good so far.
That is the general idea, just a POV recycled CD player clock.
Yeah. When we started Make, one of the most popular projects was the VCR cat feeder, where you took apart a VCR and you turned it into a cat feeder because you had these motors and you can set a timer and all that.
Yeah.
And so now, like, I think we're finally finished with all the VCRs. Like, they're pretty rare to just find in the trash. But now when we walk around New York or anywhere, we see CD players getting tossed, which is really weird.
It's cool that you recycled the CD as part of it. That actually makes a lot of sense because you need something that's balanced and fits nicely and is like lightweight. Oh, hey, a CD.
Yeah.
We have plenty of CDs around too.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Brian. When you're all finished, either post a link on Lamore's
Come back
or,
when you're finished thing.
Yeah, or just send a link into the Adafruit site, and we'd love to post that up. We like to recycle, reuse projects.
Okay, will do.
Okay, thank you so much.
Ryan.
All right, Chris, unmute your mic and show us your project.
Hello.
Hello.
First of all, I would just like to say I used to do a lot of electronic stuff, and I've been away from it for a long time because life is just, you know, how life is. And recently I got interested in some stuff. I go searching around on YouTube, and I found you guys, and I just want to say I think you guys are doing great work. I saw that talk that you gave at some kind of a conference or whether, Lamore, and I just want to say it's really impressive and good job. And
thank you.
I'm glad I found you guys.
Lately. I'm going to do some more talks this year. I took a little bit of a talking break.
Yeah.
So conferences. We record every time I speak so that people can actually see it later. It's usually tough to get conference organizers to do that for you.
Well, that's good that you try to do that because it's worth having that. So anyway, just like I said, I haven't been involved in stuff lately, but I'm getting back into it. So I just want to show you something.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Electronics, yay! And so I have a science fair project that I helped my nephew with, and I got a little camera here, so I'm gonna.
Now's a good time to get back into science fairs. It's no longer just like.
We never had a science fair.
Well,
in high
before
school.
it was like, oh, like, you know, what potato plant can grow faster. Now it's like, I think I'm gonna build like this amazing thing. Look at this.
So what is camera right side up? Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
So what this is, he wanted to do a project where he wanted to test which brand of battery was better than another brand, and so he wanted to like kill the batteries and see which one died first.
Yeah.
So what he was going to do was just hook up the battery to a light bulb and wait for the light bulb to go out. But I said, well, how do you know at what level of brightness is actually dead? So I decided to use a voltage comparator, and we just picked a reference voltage for we decided 2.7 volts is dead.
Yeah.
And so I set one input of the voltage comparator to 2.7 volts, and the other side of the voltage comparator is going to the battery. So we got the batteries over here, and let's see. So when you turn it on, if the battery's good, based on the voltage reference, then the clock runs.
Yeah.
Okay, and then and there's a load on the battery so that they're all being drained at a consistent rate. And then if the battery goes dead, then the clock stops.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, you have to tell me the outcome. What type of battery seems to be doing the best?
Well, you know what? I don't know what his results were because I didn't see the documentation that he handed in for his actual project. But it was just cool because I knew about voltage comparators and I was able to teach him something about electronics, and you know, it's just kind of neat.
That's really cool. If you take some photos later and find out the results, I'd personally like to see that, because I don't think anyone is testing batteries like this anymore. Like, it'd be cool if, like, the maker world, like, I mean, all you hear is advertising. You don't actually hear which one lasts longer. Now it's just like there's rabbits that play things, and it's like Energizer this, Copper Top that, Duracell. I never hear longest lasting as a feature anymore.
I will say it does matter about the load a little bit, and what you consider dead. They all have data sheets, but it depends on what you're using it for.
So then, what I've been really working on, and hopefully next time I come on I'll actually have something really good to show you guys, is I've been finding all kinds of stuff like this.
Oh, yeah.
VFDs and Nixies. And then I thought these were cool. I didn't think these were this small. That's really small. There's the big one.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's really pretty.
Yeah, this is, Nixies, I just thought, I kind of rediscovered Nixies, and you realize, somebody had to really put a lot of effort into designing these things. It's just really a shame that they don't make them anymore.
Yeah.
Where's the other one? Here's another one.
It is a really interesting time right now to be into electronics, because we make a clock that the tubes will eventually, there'll be no more left.
Yeah.
And Nixies, eventually there'll be no more left, and we're able to do cool stuff with Arduinos. We can make clocks, we can do all sorts of stuff. But eventually it will be over. Yeah. So it's a perfect intersection of new technology and then this Cold War stuff where just like an entire nation just made tons of Nixies, and now they're just floating around like the VFD tubes that we have. Like eventually, we get all of ours from like Eastern Europe and like parts of Russia, and eventually that'll be it. So it is a neat time to work on this stuff. The question is, like Kodak and people who make things like film, there's always this effort when it ends for people to restart it. Will we ever see Nixies made again?
I hope so, but I don't know. I did see a YouTube video. Some guy actually makes vacuum tubes by hand, and it's some old guy that I saw. I think he's like over in Russia or something like that. But I don't know. I just think it's like it's an intersection of art and electronics.
Yeah, it is. So, look at that.
I hope they don't go away.
It's a little sculpture.
It really is.
Yeah. Outstanding.
Great.
Well, thank you so much, Chris.
Thanks for letting me share, and I'll keep following you guys. Thanks a lot.
Hey, come back with the Nixie project when you're done.
Yeah, come back when you have those projects.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Chris, we're going to get an update on WriterNet. How is your microphone doing this week?
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. Look at that.
You can hear me. Great.
Yeah. But it was fun to guess your project last week.
That was pretty good, though. You guys did really, really well in terms of coming very close. Been really crazy busy lately with work, but I have finished the units that I'm going to send to you guys. To do a little update. I've got 3. Let me see if I get a better camera angle. Hang on for the for the shakiness for a second while I get this adjusted.
The WriterNet roller coaster.
Whoa. Everything's crazy.
Okay, almost there. So you can see there's 3 routers here. There are 3 setups. One a little higher.
Yep.
One of them is the router unit for any XMP network, which is this guy with the Ethernet shield on him, and he's got one of the forward mega shields on it. I'll bring it close, and you can now set the identity of the mega shields with the little dial, and you can see he's sending packets back and forth.
Yeah.
Then you got the control unit, which uses also a forward mega shield, but it has one of your touch screens on it, and it's displaying right now all the packets that are coming across it. And this button is now active, and I'll show you what that does in a minute. And it's got sensor units all over it. And this final one is kind of an Uno shield that I put together, but it's on a Mega right now, and it's got the power switch tail attached. So this is like the remote unit, and right now this is powering our WriterNet router. As a little demonstrations, you can be carrying this one around with you with the touch screen. If you want to reboot the router on the other one, let me see if I can get a good angle on this. I press a button on this guy, he sends a packet over to here, and he just shut down my router. He cycled the power switch tail.
Oh, neat.
So I'm using one unit to send messages over to the other one and cycle and control the power switch tail, and I'm sending temperature measurements back. And this guy, which I can't show you right now, can tweet the results out onto the network of what the temperature is over here.
Gotcha.
I know that isn't really great camera angles.
Oh, no, that's fine. It looks like the next thing you might need from us, because now at this point, we're just going to make up stuff for you to add to your projects, because you almost have everything. It looks like you might need a nice battery pack. Is that
yeah, that would be cool.
Okay, well, we're working on that.
Okay.
Yeah, because then you could like mobily walk around and
That would be it, because this guy's going to have commands on it, and you'll be able to push buttons and basically say shut down this router or shut down this router, which was the whole intent of RiderNet. When I got 10 routers out there and it's cold in the middle of the winter and one of them locks up, I can just right from my room tell this router to reboot, and it'll send the packets across the XMP network. It just took me a while to get all the Shield electronics right. And like I said, work's been really crazy, but
can you automatically have it reboot?
What's that?
Can you automatically detect when there's a problem and have it reboot on its own, or is this something that you actually have to make sure you have to make a decision?
You can do it. You can have it set that if the temperature goes too high, it will reboot automatically. That's the point, because they're the megas inside the RiderNet router itself. That'll be what it does. It will detect whether either the fluid level is down too low. Like if the mineral oil runs out, that little horse will sink, bending the flex sensor and telling him, oh my God, I'm out of oil. And he will tell the power switch tail to shut off so that none of the electronics burns out inside of the router when it runs out of oil. If the temperature gets too high or too low, it will do the same thing.
Yeah, that's a great touch that you use a little floating horse too. I just want to point that out.
So these are the XS units. Like I said, I don't know how I'm going to ship this one yet, but I'll figure it out. It's got to be some kind of delicate shipping thing so that they don't tip it over or break it. I'm not sure how much, or how that'll do that. But anyway, there it is. Those are the done units. I got a bunch more of them made that I'm putting out into the farm right now in terms of getting all the rest of the routers on production with the new code and the new electronics.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Chris. Perfect timing. Someone just showed up, so we're gonna hop over to Bob. And Chris, keep coming back and keeping us posted. This is a massive project, and once again, nice work on the floaty horse.
Thanks.
I really like that. It's a nice touch. I mean, what are you gonna put? You could have put a ping pong ball, but like, that's not as fun.
I had to have a horse.
Yeah.
But anyway, I apologize it's taken so long. It's just been really, really wild right now.
Oh, this is a marathon, a horse marathon, not a horse sprint. Okay.
Take care, guys. Take care.
All right, Bob. We have a couple of minutes. Show us your Nixie stuff.
No, hey, I can't see me, but I can see you, so I'll just start talking.
Yeah, start talking.
So I checked in a couple of weeks ago, and I saw the other fellow talking about Nixies, and I just wanted to say that I share his passion with Nixies, and I'm trying to create kits which will let everybody who's interested in Nixies get them lit up, because there's nothing more sad than an unlit Nixie. Yeah. And the problem is, and you've probably seen it with your ice tube clock, is that it's limited stock, and there's nothing that a manufacturer hates more than limited stock. It's new, EOL. That's when you hear a part is EOL'd, you say, oh, I gotta change my design. I can't build something around an EOL part. And Nixies are the quintessential EOL part. So what do? And the way to do it, I think, is just to let people go out on eBay and use the free market to buy their Nixies, and then they can just use these little boards that I'm working on, and are going to come out really soon, and light up their Nixies.
I think that's the way to go. People actually ask us all the time, will you do a Nixie tube clock kit Adafruit? And we've always said no. And a couple of reasons. One, we have really young kids and beginners doing it, and so it's probably not the best first project. Maybe one day, but
voltage,
not the best first project for little kids. But the second one is, it's always, because we sell a lot of kits, it would always be hard for us to have a steady supply of the same type, the same everything, same quality, same availability. So I like your approach because it's like
we sold thousands of ice tube clocks. So
I like Bob's approach because you make a board and then you distribute the people to get the Nixies.
Yeah, that's really the only way to do it, because I've actually built this little board and that uses up 6 of these little IN-17 tubes, which are really beautiful. But every time you go out and ask somebody in the Ukraine, oh, how much for another couple of hundred of these things, the price is doubled or tripled.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to double or triple the price of your kit. Because you can still very affordably go out on eBay and find the tubes by themselves and get yourself a complete system. So it's a little bit of DIY, but it's certainly well within the realm of what a lot of people want to do.
I will open source my idea that I had for Nixies. I think someone needs to start a Nixie social network trading thing online, where people who love Nixie tubes can trade with each other eventually when they're tired of their own clocks or whatever, or they have things, and it's just a network of hobbyists. And the goal is for these to keep circulating and for the hobbyists to go to other hobbyists because the prices are going to keep going up. So like a peer-to-peer Nixie social network.
Right.
Anyways,
right.
Someone needs to work on that.
I agree. Yeah, tubeclockdb.com is a good site, and then there's a Google group, NeoNixieL.
Yeah.
That everybody should check out. That's where everybody's hanging out, and they're a very friendly bunch, really.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Sure
if you when you're ready to launch too, let us know and let us know about those links. Maybe someone will start a site that just has like all of this. Like, here you go. Here's how to get started. Here's all the people you want to meet. All right. We're gonna set up for Ask an Engineer. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Brian.
Everybody.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris with the K.
Great to see you
And
guys.
Michael.
bye, everybody.
All right. See you on Ask an Engineer in about 5 minutes.
Bye.
All
Take
right.
care.